What is up, everybody? Thank you guys for swinging in early for the state of the game discussion featuring HorseRadish, KingGambler, and no less than Shujinkydink as well. So first off, I do want to give my guest a minor introduction. So starting off, ladies first, of course. We're going to have HorseRadish, who is a high-level female player. She got second in the Konichi CGL All-Females Tournament and is also a Jade / Mileena main. She does have a YouTube, so if you guys want, you will be able to go check her out afterwards. She's a phenomenal player, and I'm very excited to have her. As well as KingGambler, another high-level player. He's been competing since MKX. I mean, I remember him from the times of Injustice 2. That's when I really ran into KingGambler. Me and him kind of started streaming at the same time. He was playing that mean Green Lantern, and honestly, he's actually the winner of the LCQ for Nightmare series, so he is a very fierce combatant to deal with, I have to say. He's a great player, great dude. Awesome to have him here. And as well, we have Shujinkydink. I'm very excited to have Shujinkydink because he was there for me, teaching me how to play the game back in the days of MKX. He was my QuanFather, the runner of the Bonehawks crew, #Bonehawks. And he's been in the YouTube scene for a while. I mean, he's been competing for a long time as well. He literally is the one that kind of put Quan Chi on the map. He was known for his Quan Chi play. So I'm very excited to hear what these guests have to say about Mortal Kombat 11. And also have my co-host with me, DreamxEater, the man who runs the Nightmare series, the tournament for the Xbox side of things. So I'm very happy to get this discussion started, and let's get into it. I'm gonna pull everybody into the mix. So I got the introductions out there, so let me say hello to everybody. Hello everybody, thank you guys for being here, part of the state of the game discussion. How are you guys doing tonight?
Wonderful.
Good.
Doing great.
Glad to hear. So honestly, again, we do have Shujinkydink, we got KingGambler, we got HorseRadish, and we got DreamxEater. I was almost gonna say the Nightmare series as my co-host.
I've become one with my dreams. It's fine. We're merging.
Honestly, a little extra side note. This is a really big deal for me because honestly, like, I ran into KingGambler right when I started off streaming. We were both kind of starting. I mean, I don't know if he is already started off streaming beforehand, but like, I remember the Injustice 2 days. Like, this is a real nostalgic thing because I ran into KingGambler in the Injustice 2 days, and then there was this like awesome clip of me when I just first started streaming where I kind of freaked out that Shujinkydink actually came to my stream, and I was like, oh my gosh, the guy that taught me basically how to play MKX is in my stream right now. Dude, I was like literally like kind of like famed out at that moment. But this is awesome for me. I cannot wait to hear your guys' thoughts on the game. Dream, how are you feeling about this?
I'm feeling great. I think this is awesome. You know, I also was a fan of Shujinkydink for quite some time. Quan Chi back in MK9, that rune trap.
The QuanFather, dude.
I mean, it was awesome stuff. So I've been kind of paying attention to the game for a while, and Shujinkydink is a player that's been kind of way up there for a while. So it's really cool to be kind of in that same presence. Of course, KingGambler, big fan of KingGambler as well. Watching him play through MK11, moving over to basically be the chief of the Motoko with that Nightwolf play. So this is really exciting.
And HorseRadish, I don't want to leave her out of the mix. She got second on that all-females Konichi CGL tournament. And honestly, she just whooped my ass last night. So, I mean, a big shout-outs. Yeah, big shout-outs to HorseRadish. She is not to be, somebody to scoff at. Definitely feared. So, let's start off with the discussions, guys. Honestly, there's kind of a good amount of things to talk about when it comes to Mortal Kombat 11. A lot has changed, and when it comes to those changes, I do want to start off with Shujinkydink. I want to see what your thoughts are on everything that has happened with the patch so far. We have the pokes, we have the delay getup, and we have the throw damage. I mean, do you want to give any of your ideas on if those things really made a huge impact on the game, or did they really kind of just not provide a lot of quality of life changes?
One thing I can say is that it's taught me how mashy I've been for the last year and a half. Now that I can't do that anymore. So yes, I think that it's changed a lot of things with, and that's something I've been saying since the game came out, is it's just weird that it encouraged this poke throw meta that wasn't really super deep, I thought, and encouraged a lot of kind of bad habits. And they had the down two crushing blows, which kind of encouraged that mashing even more. So I think it's now that they've changed it to more hit advantage and that kind of thing, I think it's really helped it out, and throws are a little bit more meaningful now. And you got to hit confirm your pokes now. Otherwise, if you try and just mash it, you're losing a significant amount of frames. So I think it's changed the meta for sure. It'll be interesting to see going into the Pro League, which I think we'll talk about later, how that actually will play at a higher level. But from what I've played so far, I'm super happy with it. I like the changes as far as that kind of stuff goes.
And thank you for that. And any of these discussion points that come in, all of you guys, once the person that I designate has put their point out or their ideas out, by all means, it's open to discussion. So I kind of want to do the same question. I'm gonna just move it down the line. Same question, kind of horseradish. How do you feel the game has changed and shifted with this new patch that came through with the pokes? Do you feel anything different with your your Mileena and your Jade play?
Definitely. Because I'm a Jade player, so a lot of my footsies down four, blah blah. So now it's -7. So I do that up close, my turn is over. I can't mash anything. I can't get guaranteed backdashes anymore. It's changed a lot. I have to play more respectful. I like the delay get up change. So now it's easier for me to time what I do now because I can see when they're about to get up.
Yeah, time your meaties.
Yes. Throw damage.
I love that change.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a really fantastic change for sure. I mean, honestly, when it comes to the pokes, being able to actually jail into things is, me as a Kano player, huge. I used to have to jail into a 9-frame, poke down 1-7. That used to be atrocious, especially online. So it was really difficult. So I can get that you feel those changes. But even the throw damage, does that help you as a Jade player as well?
Not really. I don't think the throw damage did much. It didn't do much of
it. Didn't impact very much.
It's only 1%.
Yeah.
It's not that much. But yeah, I feel the game is newer. I definitely like the changes. They should have changed a bit more in my opinion, but I'm happy where it is.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you for that. And King Gambler, same question to you. What are your thoughts on everything that's changed so far?
So, yeah, I want to, we're going to start with the poke system about how this actually made a difference in the game because there was, you brought up Kano, how this is huge for Kano. He can actually do a down 1 to a string that is now going to be +2. That jails on a lot of characters. And not only Kano, but they're Sub-Zero, another superstar that I feel definitely got a benefit from this recent patch, as he can now jail his low string off of his down 1, and I think that's actually scary because now it just makes his 50-50 mix game, it makes it a lot stronger. It's 4-2 is already scary enough as it is, but the thing is, before patch, you could, in a way, like Dink mentioned earlier, you could, before patch, mash a lot of the times, but like with this poke system right now, it is making, you know, you as a player, whether you're mashing or not, it kind of like brings a little bit of a fear if you do mash, especially, you know, talking about the new wake up system, how there's, you know, there's basically two different types of wake up systems. There's one where you straight get up, or there's a delay one. So there is more of, you know, you can pay attention to see whenever your opponent is getting up, or you can, you know, the timing on it is what I mean to talk about. But in my honest opinion, I'm unsure if the, you know, the get up system eliminated wake up buttons, because I still think that that's a main thing that's going on as far as Mortal Kombat 11, that wake up buttons, that was how it was before patch, and that's still how it is after this patch. And, you know, there's still multiple wake up options, you know, wake up 3, wake up 2, wake up jump. Like, there is multiple options in this game as far as for a wake up system. So I don't think that it impacted too much, but I do think that we can really pay attention to the timing of these opponents getting up to really time our meaties better. And I think another situation we were talking about was the throw damage. So I was actually surprised to see we lost 1% off of a throw, and it didn't make any sense at all. I had no idea like why it was even a thing, and I probably still don't understand why it was taken 1% off. But honestly, it hasn't really impacted me. Like, for Nightwolf's gameplay, he's still, you know, a strike throw machine, like Dink really talked about. This is what this meta did with the, especially with the pokes, is it did now enforce kind of more of a strike throw mind game that they want. And when I say they, I mean NRS would probably want the players to use more in their game plan. Will we see that more? Not sure, but I've been doing it for long enough with Nightwolf, so I just wanted to throw that out there.
I mean, honestly, with the game that playing the game recently myself, I've been seeing a lot of wake up buttons. Like, dude, I've been getting woke up buttoned so hard lately. I don't know if you guys have been feeling that at all, but I mean, me personally, I still kind of get mashed on, and it kind of aggravates me, because now that we have like the short hop, you know, invulnerability to the low pokes, or, you know, just pokes in general, I don't really see an opportunity where, like, if somebody's mashing on me, and even though they made the pokes plus even more so, I feel like they should have made them a little more negative as well, so I can get kind of my turn back a little easier. Like last night, I was getting mashed on by a Garrus, and I was like, man,
6-framer.
Yeah, I know he's got a 6-framer, but it's like, am I really just getting mashed on? I couldn't even get a short hop in, so like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little more to the poke game. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I mean, we're going into the open discussion now, so like, if any of you guys have any input, by all means, put it out there.
I think there's still some adjustments players are going to have to make to it. Like, it's still pretty fresh. You know, for this kind of meta to really shape out, I think that it's going to take some time for people to fully adjust to that. So I think that some of the stuff that might feel a little like the mashing is still happening, or getting the timing on your own, like when you do hit somebody with a poke and taking it, either the gap, or I think that's stuff that'll come with time. One thing I do think with the delay get up, I know that it's you know, people do have the wake up options, of course. So not only, I mean, obviously the problem with get up beforehand was I think it was maybe too ambiguous when they were going to get up, because there was all these different timings that they could do, in addition to being able to, you know, wake up jump, wake up attack, and those options. But I think that taking away the ambiguity, there is still the problem when people do have a defensive meter or offensive meter to do that. But I will say that when you do have them without resources, it does feel a lot better in terms of like timing meaties and not worrying about people ambiguously delaying or doing their get up and then going straight into buttons when you mistime it. Because one of the other problems with meaties in this game is, your active frames you have 2 active frames on moves, 3. There's a couple moves with more, but oftentimes it's not a lot of active frames, which means that if you do miss it, those buttons are going to come in and get you. So now that the ambiguity of the delay timing there, I think that's really important for when you've got knockdowns and the players don't have resources to spend on get up attacks and stuff.
I'm actually taking a note from chat. There are characters from the Combat Pack 2 that still have the pre-patch jump-ins still. I mean,
yes.
I feel like... Yeah, I mean...
I hope they change that soon.
That needs to get fixed.
It seems like it's something that's not supposed to be that way. And, they hotfixed some of the other things that were problematic, like, the hat trick.
And Kotal Khan's
the possessed hat.
Yeah,
they got rid of that thing, and the possessed hat infinite as well. They were quick to hotfix those things out. And I would think that the way that the jump-ins for these characters is that they are blatantly not supposed to be like that. And it is like something that kind of slipped through, but it seems odd that they haven't rushed with the same speed to correct or change that.
Yeah, I know. I feel like NRS needs to just be a little more on top of their game when it comes to like kind of hot fixing things.
I feel like NRS has a vision for things and they want to see this through regardless, and maybe they figured something out that we haven't. Like, for example, I have complained about the input for breakaways since like day one, and I'm not the only one. Like a lot of people, and you think enough people spoke out, they would have said something, they would have maybe changed it by now, but they haven't. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where like, kind of get good kind of deal. And maybe that's kind of when they look at like the top tier level guys who are like flawless blocking every jump and attack instead of trying to anti-air. Mm-hmm. It's maybe that's just a meta that they want to push, is the only thing that I can really think of, because I'm with you. There are some really annoying jump ins, and I play Baraka, so I get full advantage of that. But,
No, that's absolutely true. And like, honestly, seeing that you guys have played Injustice 2, like, did you guys remember this many kind of issues with the gameplay, like from the time of Injustice 2 to now? I mean, like, I never had like an issue with like the clash system in Injustice 2. I never really had that much of an issue when it came to like plus frames or certain frames. I know they're completely 2 different games, but like,
I think Injustice was fraught with issues, and looking back on it, there's too much nostalgia. You forget all the bad shit.
I might be
Injustice was filled with what the hell is this? This is whack. Just the Black Adam complaints, the Superman, it was that game. When we were playing it, there's always something to bitch about. That is the way it goes. It feels like.
Well, I mean, speaking on that, there is, no matter what game we are playing in, I can't speak for MK9 or Injustice 1 days because I wasn't there at the time. I came in MKX, but I can speak for the games I have been a part of, MKX, Injustice 2, MK11. It doesn't matter. We as a community are always going to find and figure out some issues that are, have to do with the mechanics of the game that have to be fixed. And sometimes they'll be fixed, but most times they're not going to be fixed, and all it's just going to leave us with is just to keep complaining. So I mean, we're just going to either find something new to complain about, or we're just going to keep complaining about the same thing over and over again.
And like Dink said, the developers have a vision, and just because it's not what we have in mind doesn't mean that they're just going to change it on our whim. So
right.
If that's the way that they want things to be, then that's kind of how they're going to be. And a breakaway input, I think, is a great example of that. There's been tons of outcry, universal outcry, and maybe get a change on that, and not happening. Doesn't seem like it's going to be a thing. So that's just the way that it is. Like you said, get good. That's the plan that they have for us. So we'll see what happens. But I think that with time, we'll make do. The watching the meta shift so far has been really fun, just up to the point of Aftermath, to Ultimate, where things got, and now that we're in a whole new era with customs and stuff, I think that's going to get even more crazy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how things kind of break down from the players, and how all of these really talented minds come together to come up with some insane stuff. We've already been seeing some crazy stuff so far.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, but I don't feel like fixing the breakaway button is that difficult. I don't know. It could be just
No, but
me,
it's if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. I don't think it's a case of how hard it is. It's more of a case of like they don't want to do it. That's the way that they have it in mind, and for whatever that reason is, whether it be pride that they don't want to change it, they're worried about spooking the casuals by changing it because the casuals aren't going to want to learn about a new button, or they've just decided like, no, accidental breakaway is part of it. If you mistime your follow block, you should lose 2 bars of meter. That might be the way they feel, and if that's the case, then that's the game we play. So
yeah,
it'd be nice if they were a little bit more upcoming with that,
Yeah, they should tell us. Just like, can you comment on the breakaway input, maybe?
Well, hey,
let us know where you stand. Have you heard anything? Or maybe because the top guys aren't complaining, that they're just like, okay, well, no, you guys can figure it out, kind of thing.
I mean, honestly, if we can get an outcry for Mileena to come back in the game, I bet we can get those same people to be like, hey, we need you guys to come in again to help change this breakaway button so we can get that fixed. Let's go. Everybody, tweet it out. Tweet at Ed Boon, fix the breakaway system. Hashtag fix it.
I mean, it's a valiant cause. I could get behind that one, so.
Like, oh my gosh.
I just wanted to comment on throws really quick. If that's okay. Sorry to kind of drag.
No, absolutely. Go ahead. It's open discussion.
Of course.
I wanted to comment on it as like, because they did take like 10% or 1% away from each throw, which doesn't really seem too significant. But when you have like, again, playing Baraka, like I have a really strike throw heavy meta. So if I'm throwing someone like 2 or 3 times around, like that does add up.
It does.
Especially over like, if we go to a 3rd round, I have noticed that it's very small, but if you have crushing blows off both your throws and you're using throws quite often, that does add up a little bit. So I wouldn't say it was an insignificant change, but it's just something that kind of you have to think of as a large whole, which maybe affects some characters more than it does others. Some characters like Sub-Zero, for example, who has better 50-50s, I guess, or reactable offline, but we're in an online world in 2020, so let's be real here.
No, Dink, is that your main Baraka?
I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking I'm going to switch with maybe from Cetrion to Baraka. We'll see. Now customs are out. I like custom Baraka.
I saw you get that 30 win streak with that Kitana play in your recent video, so I was like, dude. Dang, okay.
I don't know who I'm using yet. In this customs, I'm just like, I don't really know.
I like Baraka. I've been using Baraka myself.
I think another thing with the throw damage too is that because of the way that people have the defensive bars to stay alive at the end, that 10 damage is technically like 3 extra hits. You know what I mean? Like, right. So those 3 throws that you got is that much more. As a Baraka player, I'm sure that it comes up where like I can't get this last hit. I can't get it. I can't chase him down yet again to get this last hit to get through it. And it does really add up. So I think in the long run, I mean, the number of games that we've seen that come down to players having 20 life left and less, it happens quite often. It truly does. And, personally in my own play, the same thing where barely any life left. So I think it is a part of it, but it feels insignificant. I don't mind the change though. It's the MK11. This is the most damage throws I've ever done. And it still is, even with the nerf to it, down to 13%. So,
all right.
I want to say something quickly. I'm going to go backtrack again and talk about the pokes because I just realized that none of us really talked about it. Did anyone really notice that the pokes recovery was also increased? Because this was for characters that had, and I'm speaking because my character had an optimal mid screen that included a down one, and it's like no longer possible.
Oh, so, really?
Nightwolf has a corner combo. What's it called? It's his generic corner combo where you launch you in the corner. He gets a his 3-1 input, and he adds a down 1 and finishes it off with 1-1-1 shoulder. Well, you have to do his 3-1 input now a little bit more earlier than you could previously because the down 1 has more recovery on it. So it like makes, whenever you do your down 1, the 1-1-1 comes out a little bit, I would say, not delay, but it's just because the recovery is coming, like still coming back. For the down 1. So you have to like fix the timing off of your like, say if you have a character you play and it has like a down one involved in the combo, then you have to fix your timing on it.
Well, they've got, like Cabal's got mid-screen optimals as well off the the amplified buzzsaw. Maybe optimals is the wrong word for that, but still, the amplified buzzsaw extensions. I'm curious if that affects it. Noob Saibot. I haven't played Noob since the patch. I'm trying to walk away. I'm so disappointed with the character ultimately, and having to count to 10 and just make my sickle glow or something. I want a tell. But
yeah, that would be nice. The sickle glow.
It would be nice, yeah. But Noob Saibot has that in his corner. He's got some of his extensions are off of down one or whatever is how he picks up some of that damage. So I'm curious if he's taking a hit to his damage as well. It'll be interesting. Maybe I'll hit the lab and check that out at some point.
And I mean, going to Horseradish too, I think Jade also had it impacted by that. Are her
Jade
combos the same?
Jade got an extreme nerf with the deadly butterfly due to the poke delay.
Really?
So like she has deadly butterfly, which is her stab spin. That is a good chip out mechanism, but it could also do combos in the corner with down one. It's very timely. It's very hard time. It's very tight, and so now with the poke delay, it's very hard to land a down one. And when you do, you can't land. It's very hard to land any more down ones after that one.
Yeah, how many did you used to be able to get before compared to how many you can typically get now?
I used to get 4, but now I can get 1 or maybe 2.
Oh man, or maybe 2. That seems rough.
That's significant. I've never felt bad for a Jade player before, but
Oh, poor Jade players. Oh man, that is big change.
Speaking off of the down one quickly, I'm going back into it again because Nightwolf had a combo in the corner where it was meterless and he could throw in 3 down ones and then finish it off with 1-1-1 shoulder. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm sure you can do maybe 1 down 1 into the 1-1-1, but like I have struggled a lot doing that combo after the patch. So I guess I either need to get good and work on it again, or just realize that I can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I'm curious if that was intentional.
I saw the change on the recovery of pokes. I didn't realize it had such an impact on so many combos. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I'm curious if they thought of it themselves, or if this is just like a side effect of that they, an unanticipated side effect, but nonetheless does kind of impact some characters that did use their pokes for combo extension.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
I have 2 questions in the chat, so I'm going to quickly read them.
By all means, man.
So I don't miss out on them. So someone asked, how do you feel about Nightwolf's down 3 being plus however amount that is? So Nightwolf's down 3 didn't change. It's still plus 13. But his down 4 changed. It went from plus 13 to plus 19. So that was good to see. It's a lot easier to jail off of that. And I feel like this question isn't only for me, but should be for everyone. Which character do you think has suffered the most from the ultimate patch?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't think there's a character that maybe suffered from it, but there feels that it's probably
the
character didn't get any love.
RoboCop.
Well, yeah, but it's not that RoboCop nerfed a bunch or anything. It's just RoboCop didn't get touched.
He didn't get Jack. He didn't get Jack.
He didn't get anything.
I don't know I really don't know who suffered from this patch. Like, besides these characters that either lost a down 1 combo, or because if you think about it, everyone's pokes got buffed. Like, I don't think that there's a single. I don't think there's a character that got left out as far as their pokes getting buffed.
Slink is saying Sindel did. She sucks.
Yeah,
I think Slink is just biased.
Yeah, I think Slink is just hating.
Yeah, I'm curious. I can't think of any changes that were like really heavy direct nerfs to a character though. So who got hit with the nerf bat the hardest? I guess if that's what the question is, I don't really know. I think Jackie was the one character we were all expecting nerfs for, and they did make some changes to the way that her flawless block works. And it's not just that move, is my understanding. There are multiple moves that have that larger flawless block window to them. So that is kind of one of the changes. I know not everybody's happy with that nerf, and I think there are still some things that may need to be done for people to be satisfied with how Jackie is. But despite that, I do like the idea of them trying to push and promote flawless blocking. As somebody who currently even struggles with it, old dogs don't learn new tricks very easily. I come from an era where I'm allowed to just hold the block button forever and I don't have to worry about it. But now, being able to, you got to feather it, brother, and being able to get it right and promote some of that flawless blocking stuff to push people to kind of use and interact with the mechanics. And I think flawless block is a really interesting mechanic, the way that you can kind of, if you really, really well predict your opponent's offense, you can blow it up. I think that is a really cool mechanic. So pushing people to be better at that, I think, is a good idea. And even if it's not the nerf that everybody wanted to see, I like the idea of them at least nerfing in a way that promotes some of the cool mechanics that are in the game.
So one interesting thing that I'd like to mention is it's been a meme in like the Cetrion group chat that we're on Twitter that I like to use the boulder delay. And since this current patch, I think that's really the only way that the boulder is actually somewhat useful at a high level, because it is so easy to flawless block that thing now that it just ruins all the frame traps that she has for geyser or ground pound. So you kind of have to be able to throw off that timing, or else they're flawless blocking it every time. And I think that was a really huge hit to Cetrion that I'm not sure everyone was really feeling yet.
Was the boulder one of the moves that also got the change to the window for the flawless block on it? Oh, okay. So that one now has a bigger, like, it's like 6 frames, I think, instead of 3.
Yeah, it's a pretty large window.
Okay. Yeah, so that has taken a toll on some of the offense for some characters. I think Cetrion is another character that a lot of people were frustrated with or whatever. There's a lot of complaining about. So that was a character that it looks like NRS was looking to kind of dial down a little bit. And I like that instead of taking away the fact that it is tough to deal with if you don't flawless block it, they just promoted people to actually do it. Maybe in the future we'll see them maybe shrink that window down to a different thing or change it somewhat, but we'll see. But I do think it's an interesting way to nerf for sure if that's their approach. It's better than a different approach of just like cutting off damage or taking away plus frames just in general.
And we do have a question from chat. This actually will go to everybody, so you guys want to chime in whenever, by all means. Do you think armor breakers are more prevalent to the core game plan of players now, that custom variations are a thing, or do you think the game plan of most players stay the same?
I think it depends on the character and depends on your armor break.
Yes.
Like, for example, I think Liu Kang's armor break is a really good armor break. So I think that we will definitely be seeing a lot more of Liu Kang players picking up that ability in their loadouts. And there are other characters, such as Spawn. He loses his armor break based on what ability you pick if you pick the charging health spawn for the extension. So I think that's one of the ones that is kind of a toss-up. There, you will still see Spawn players, I think, taking charging health spawn and forgoing the armor break. And then you'll also see players keeping that armor break and looking to interact with that part of the meta. But I do think that it is going to kind of fluctuate depending on the character. How do you guys feel about it, though?
I agree with what Dream just said. I really think it just depends on your character. Like, I want to say that Johnny's another character where we're seeing more of his armor break, which is
pissed off.
Yeah, pissed off. It's a down, back, forward input. It's a little bit trickier than most inputs, but yeah, we are seeing with these custom variations, we're seeing more of these Johnny players used pissed off in their custom variations. And I did see, not to get off topic, but I just want to say I didn't forget about it. I saw another comment out. It mentioned talking about how Kodal is. We are actually going to talk about custom variations in a minute, so I didn't forget about your question. I am just going to remember it, because we're going to talk about custom variations soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about some character specific
yes, so
he buffed.
Back to the question. Yeah, just technically, it just depends on the character and how you'll utilize the armor break or move in your game plan. Technically.
Yeah, Noob Saibot might as well not have one, for example.
Dang. Ouch.
Yikes! Doesn't he have 2 different launchers?
Yeah, he's got 2 different launchers, but I'm talking like his armor break is because it's a normal. You can just wait until you see anything but that normal, and then you break.
I see.
You can't cancel into the normal.
Honestly,
so as soon as you hit with back 1 to do your combo extension, then they break out of the follow.
I don't understand why all characters just have a universal armor break, kind of like Kano. I feel like Kano is one of the few characters that just benefits from having a normal that is their
Kano's the only
universal
one that has a
armor
good
breaker.
normal. All the other normals that are armor breakers are
Is he
awful.
literally the only one?
Rambo's is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, that drop
Rambo's
kick,
good.
yeah.
Rambo's is good. Rambo's has got a good one because it's a normal. Because on hitter, like if you decide to end your combo in that, like you're always gonna get it. And I mean, I don't know. Some of them like the problem with Sonya's, for example, is it does less damage than just uppercutting.
Yeah, dude, Sonya and Cetrion on the same boat there. Cetrion's armor break is freaking garbage.
It's deadly
Yeah.
winds, right?
Yeah.
Well, Cetrion, you get the restand out of it, so it's not. It's
Yeah,
not
but
some-
it doesn't hit at all mid-screen.
Yeah, I don't think it really comes up often for the armor break for like breaking combos, I guess.
She has one launcher, which is a crushing blow. So, I mean, you could just see it coming.
Yeah. And then and then like Sub-Zero's is 4/4, which by the way, I'm totally fine with Sub-Zero having a shitty armor break. He doesn't need to have like the freeze. You can't break after you get frozen, so he can still guarantee follow-up damage with like Fatal Blow and stuff. Oftentimes he's hitting you on the ground anyway with his mix-ups. Like his mix-ups don't launch you into the air to allow a breakaway. So Sub-Zero not having a great breakaway, fuck him. I don't care. And arguably the same thing, it's kind of with Scorpion as well. Scorpion slip kick is a bad armor break, but basically once you get hit by a spear, you're not breaking away anyway because you're back on your feet. So it's only kind of like a crushing blow breakaway. And we've seen from AJ and Justin the amount of damage that Scorpion can output, like 46%, I think is what Justin hit yesterday.
Oh my god, that was insane.
2 bars of meter, but no crushing blows. It was just 2 bars, 46%. Insane damage that character can do. So not having a great breakaway or armor break, I think that he'll live. But I mean, you could probably say the same thing about Noob Saibot. But yeah, Noob Saibot's is back 2, and it's not great because people can. They just, as soon as they see that you're not doing back 2, then they'll break. So technically, you shouldn't be getting armor broken by Noob Saibot. If you're panic breaking away on Noob Saibot, just calm down, wait till you see back 1, and then break away, and you'll never get armor broken.
Horse, how do you feel about like Jade's and Mileena's like armor break system? Do you think it's beneficial? Does it help you out, or is it kind of difficult to pull off? And she's gone.
What did you ask? What did you ask?
No, how do you feel about Jade and Mileena's like armor break? Do you think that the way they're set up that it's helpful? Isn't Jade's her shadow kick?
Jade's is really good. It's her shadow kick. It's probably like top 5 armor break in the game.
Yeah,
I think Jade's is really good.
And you get a lot of use out of it?
Damage.
Jade breaks on both hits of it too, right? The amplify will also break. Yeah, I think that's there's a handful of characters who have an armor break, but the amplify doesn't break the armor anymore.
In Jaded it does, in Emerald Fender it doesn't.
Oh, okay, interesting. So it's when you have the ability that does like a second nitro kick out of it instead of the side twitch. Okay.
Mileena, her armor break is really good. She can do hers without even amplifying the ball roll, which is really good. Hers, when I say hers is good as Jade, probably not, because hers is easier, and people break away from Mileena easier as well. Whereas Jade, people are scared to break away because she can do nitro kick at any time.
That is true. That's a scary one. I get hit by that all the time. So.
Yeah, I think one of Mileena's problems is her combo starter in particular. The way that people, like the timing that people can break away on it, doesn't matter what your armor break is, you're not catching them. Like if they break away as soon as you amplify the ball roll, Mileena's still ducking underneath them, and they kind of, like they break out underneath it. If they wait till after they get launched into the air by the second ball roll, then they're in trouble. But if they break during the first ball rolls pop up before the amplify hits and they know you're going to do it, or they wait to see it and then they do it, which you can do, then it's one of those things where it's not going to happen. I think same could kind of be said about Kung Lao. Kung Lao has a similar problem. If you don't have the spirit stance, you can break out of amplified spin before it actually pops you up into the air for him to do anything for the follow-up, because the way that it works. Cassie's gunshot, similar way, you break out before they even get popped up, so the armor break doesn't end up being a factor at the higher levels where players are getting that pristine timing on their breakaways.
Now, speaking of Mileena,
suffered too.
Yeah, no. Speaking on Mileena, let's kind of segue into like the next topic. How do you guys feel about the new characters that have been introduced into Mortal Kombat 11? They're not technically new now; they've been out for a while.
Yeah, we've had about a month of them, right?
I think so, right? I mean,
yeah, they came out on like the 11th or something, so we're maybe a week shy of a month or something like that.
I thought it was the 17th.
Oh no, it's the 17th. Oh no,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, man, it's only been like two and a half weeks.
Yeah, I
Damn,
mean,
all
it's
right.
it's been a long enough time that people can kind of get adjusted to it, but still, they're relatively new. So I want to start off kind of with Horseradish because she is a Jade and Mileena player. So are you happy having the new character Mileena? Did you wish that there was somebody
Brand
else?
new character. Never heard of her before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's this lady? How do you feel about
I
Mileena,
love
though,
her.
Horseradish? Well, you love her?
I love her.
Of course
I
he
love
loves her.
a lot.
It's good to have her back. Did you play Mileena in previous iterations of the game?
And MKX.
Okay, cool.
I see.
So my question: so if you're playing Mileena, what is the build that you've been playing with Mileena? Because I think one of the interesting things to note about these new characters, all of the previous characters came with these structured variations, but these three new characters that we got, even though they have like built-in tournament variations, no one gives a shit. We're all making our own variations at this point. So I'm curious as to with these new characters, people got to choose right out of the box how they put together their characters. So what kind of gameplay or abilities have you been putting together with Mileena?
Stabby Scotch, Rolling Thunder, and Stabby Scotch, Rolling Thunder, and Side Slide or Air Slide. Those are really good too. I like those.
Okay.
Side slide is really annoying. I'm just gonna say.
And it's safe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty safe.
That's wild. I always think I can punish that, and I'm just like, nope. I just got down to uppercut and crushing blow because I try to punish it with Kano, and they just uppercut the high.
Big no punishing that one.
No, definitely.
It's been more annoying for me dealing with zoning. Assuming I'm thinking of the right one, where she just kind of rolls the Sai along the ground and it goes up, and down. Yeah, that one's more annoying for zoning, keeping me out.
I found the size, her throne
The string
size
extensions are really good too. Her
the
string
throw
extensions are really good.
I think one of the cool things, or one of the key things about those string extensions as well is, so her forward 4-3 string, which ends in an overhead, if you don't have the string extension, that overhead splats, you're done. But if you take the string extension, even if you don't actually use the extension of the string, which is the throw input, it allows you to extend off of that. So you can actually go into the low Sai or whatever special you can launch with the ball roll if you hit to confirm off forward 4 and stuff. So it's really interesting that, taking that, even if you don't tap into it, it just gives you that opportunity to cancel and do some extra stuff with that too. I think those string extensions are really strong.
And so the rest of you guys, what do you think of the new characters? Do you guys wish that there were different characters, or are you kind of happy with the selection that they gave us with Rambo, Rain, and Mileena? Let's start off with King Gambler on this one.
Okay, I was gonna say you can start with Dink because I was answering someone in the chat, but it's fine. I'll answer on this. I just feel like I'm gonna be hated.
Do it, dude.
I'm gonna be hated. Okay. I don't really care for any of the 3 characters.
Dude, I'm kind of with you. I like Rain, but
for Rain, okay, if I have to pick what's my favorite out of the 3, I'm gonna have to go with Rain.
Yeah,
I think Rain does look the coolest. Here's why. I'm huge to want to debate on this topic too. This is where people may love me and agree with me, or just straight up hate me and be like,
if you say mocap, I'm leaving.
They just say, no, just get off the mic, okay? No one cares. My problem with Rain, I get he was a really requested character for MK11. My problem with Rain is that he is a DLC character for back-to-back Mortal Kombat games. I don't think that it was right that he is on the DLC roster again. Or wait, no, it wasn't MKX. It was
MK9.
MK9, yeah, MK9. Yeah. He was DLC for both MK9 and MK11. I don't think that's right. Mileena, I mean, I can't even hate on Mileena. Everyone wants her back. I do think it was a great decision by NRS to bring her back. I just don't care for the character. Like, I don't see myself playing the character. That's why I said that.
Yeah, ditto.
I don't even know where to start with Rambo, but I don't even know where do I even start? Like,
I mean, if we're gonna get a guest character, I guess he'll work.
like, okay, sure. Like, sure.
It's no Neo, but whatever.
Here's where
Inspector Gadget would be tight.
Here's what if someone asked me, okay, well then what would you have want in the game? I am a huge fan of the characters that were in the previous Mortal Kombat games, like Armageddon, Deception, Deadly Alliance, and
3D era.
the 3D era. I'm a huge fan.
God.
I'm a huge fan of the 3D era.
Reiko.
My high character request I want back is Havoc.
Yes, that's who I want back, dude.
I want Havoc back. I want, but this is where people be like, "No, get off the mic," or like, "Who? No one cares about your opinion," or like, "I totally agree."
I am totally the opposite. Dude.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I totally agree with you.
Smoke. Give me the robots. Fuck those 3D characters.
Dang. No,
I mean, there's a handful of good ones, but I mean, like, come on, if Cobra ever comes back,
dude, imagine how good Havoc would have been looking in MK11. I mean, the man hasn't seen the light of day since forever now. Like, swap out RoboCop. How good
Smoke would have looked. And like, just think about an end right.
Oh, I agree. I feel like the ninjas should have been in there. And
we already got to see how cool the robots look and how much fun it would be for everybody to be able to play them if they had fully fleshed out move lists. That'd be tight.
And I'm going to bring in my boy Dink on this one, dude. I'm sad that we're missing Quan Chi. Because if Mileena can come back, Quan Chi can definitely come back, especially after getting his head chopped off.
You know what? Yeah, this is going to be weird for people to say, but I would not want Quan Chi to come back. The thing is, because... hear me out. Because... he died in MKX in a way that just seemed not right to me. I want him to be written back in the story to how exactly he's coming back. I don't want some bullshit like, oh, the sands of time brought me back. Like, no. Quan had a plan the whole time. I don't think that was even Quan that got killed by Scorpion in that thing. I think one of the hints you can see in the story mode is at one point he has his hands handcuffed behind him, and the next scene they're in front of him when he goes to pull him out of the thing. So, Quan Chi's always a step ahead. So, like, for him to come back as just a DLC character just seems like an incomplete way to do the character.
That's a good point.
I can see that. He doesn't get the right justice. Like, the lore for all the DLC characters is arguably just in their story ending, right? Like, you don't get to actually see a lot of the kind of ways that they were coming back. And Quan Chi, what a sneaky fucker he is. So I'm sure it would be fun to see what the machinations were behind all of his scheming. So for him to just get like a 30-second spiel that he narrated, I can see that. Although I think I'm down with that. I think that Quan Chi and Shang, like, we got a sorcerer. We don't necessarily need to get it. We don't need to flood it and give Quan Chi his own kind of way to come back in and with a full-fledged story to kind of see how he got back. I'm on board with that as well.
Yeah, like, waste the whole Sands of Time storyline on a crappy sorcerer. Give the good one like a welcoming back.
That's actually a really good point. I've never heard that argument, and honestly, I 100% agree. Like, Quan Chi definitely deserves respect.
Hey, Rain's here. That's great, but there's no.
He's got more story in MKX.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So it's like, he's here. That's great. Same with Mileena. 1,000 souls cried for my word. Good job. Good job. The character's back, but I mean, what substance is there to that character now? That's kind of how I looked at it. So I mean, that's how I view the two MK characters coming back. Is that it's cool they're there for the people that want them, but there's really no substance to the story. And as much as a hardcore fighting game player I am, the story is what kind of got me into Mortal Kombat in the first place back in the 3D era. After I was done mashing in arcades and didn't really know what I was doing as a kid, I started playing the story modes, and the MK Deception story mode was just so cool and so much fun, and like delving into the lore and like waiting around for an hour for a little chest to appear so you can get a certain Liu Kang skin. Like, I don't know, that really brought me in. So I'm kind of a sucker for the stories. So
Me
to
too.
have just kind of like a meaningless DLC character just doesn't really do it for me.
Honestly,
Yeah, I'll agree. 100%. That's why I'm here. Like the initial impetus for me enjoying Mortal Kombat, the reason that I never got into like even like Street Fighter, is the lore of Mortal Kombat was always intriguing. Learning
so rich.
about the little backstory, and yeah, it was very rich for a fighting game where it typically is just like a blurb. They did a really good job of fleshing out these characters, and that was the hook that I needed. That when MK9 came back around, I was like, all right, I'm all in on this. And then I accidentally watched some tournament, and I was like, you don't have to uppercut after spear? Hold up. And changed my world.
No,
Yeah, man.
Definitely. I definitely 100% agree.
As far as Rambo goes, I mean, I get that they were kind of doing the same thing they were doing in MKX for going for like a action movie star and as opposed to horror. I think the action movie star kind of route was not a great fit for the Mortal Kombat universe. I thought the horror movie made sense, but I don't know, the action star not quite so much maybe. Or maybe you could have kind of maybe taken some good guys from those horror movies and put them into this game, because that would have been a little bit more believable, killing monsters, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
AKA Ash Williams.
Yeah, but I get what they were trying to do, and I think a lot of people were happy about it, so I'm cool with that, I guess.
Yeah, if we're going to have to get a guess, Rambo works, I guess. You know what I mean? Like, it's not...
RoboCop
they're
doesn't.
a worse guess that they could have picked.
I like RoboCop.
So,
I honestly really do. I mean, I was playing him since he got released and everything. Cool
I'm
character.
For the huge butt, though.
Yeah, but like you could have replaced him with so many other viable characters, or at least forget the guest. You know, just give us another character, Havoc, whoever, you know, that hasn't been seen in the game for a long time. Forget you guys. I keep asking for Tanya. I don't want that pole hopping lady back in the game.
Yeah, I'm okay with no Tanya.
Like, we're here for Mortal Kombat. This is the Mortal Kombat universe. That's kind of what we want to see, you know? Like, we got Mileena back. We got Rain. Give us Smoke. Give us the
robots.
Give us the robots. Cyrax, Sector. Like, make this, like, the actual Mortal Kombat Ultimate, you know?
Well, if you look at Smash Ultimate, right? They've got the whole gang in there.
Oh, and more.
I would love for MK11 to be a long-standing platform, much longer, like break the 2-year cycle. So far, they have said they intend to break the 2-year cycle, and that we're not going to be getting an Injustice 3 right around the corner. So I really am looking forward to and hoping that we're going to just continue to get more and more stuff, because I think the abilities, the option to give an additional or new abilities, if a character needs a new tool, they can install it in the form of an ability. I think it's a really great foundation and platform that they have here, and you know, they're totally open to just continue to add more and more great stuff to it. I know that not everybody's a big MK11 fan, but I think that this is probably the most balanced that the games have been in a while, and I'm really happy with what we have here, so I'm really looking forward to continuing to get more of it. Obviously, it's got some things that I would like tweaked and changed, but I think that's the beauty of it. You know, we live in an era where, you know, it's not the game comes out and that's just what it is. We can actually get some changes to the game. They can make tweaks and adjustments and refine the product until it kind of gets to a really great place.
Yeah, do you guys enjoy overall the game how it is right now?
Customs did it did it like over the top for me. Like that was what I was waiting for since day one, and now that they have it out, I'm having so much fun. I found the 3 customs I like to play with, and I'm just having a blast. And I'm just kind of figuring out when to use each one against each matchup. And then every time I play somebody new, it's like, okay, I haven't seen that move before. Now I have to lab against that move, and it's like the game all over again. Because not only did you have like set variations before, but now you have like moves you haven't seen with other moves you have seen, and they work completely different together. So there's just like so much more to learn. I don't know. It's really brought the game back to life for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think customs is a huge change here to things. You know, speaking of customs, I do want to touch on some of the DLC characters. So with Mileena, I don't think that there's been a established archetype for a build, I guess, because I am curious as to what kind of builds came through. It seems like people are, it's like a question, like we're seeing a lot of the armor break, we're seeing a lot of the extended string, and then it's which toy with the size do you want to have? Do you want side slide, air side, low side? That seems to be the kind of builds for Mileena. With Rain, the common builds that we've been seeing have been with either, we've seen Izzy, who's been doing a lot of stuff with like a Quantum Rift sort of build with the Quantum Slice, the Rift, and the ability to use it from the air. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we've got the Hydro Boost builds. Have you guys seen any other kind of different builds from either of those characters? I know some people have been kind of playing around with the Water Ball, and then, you know, with Rambo, I think a lot of Claymore. That's what I've been playing with. The Claymore, it's a lot of fun, and a lot of Snare Trap. But have you guys seen any particular interesting builds from the DLC characters?
Not particularly. Those are the main ones that you covered.
Yeah, I think those are the main ones. It'll be interesting to see then, I guess, if that ends up changing. I think that those builds are pretty solid, and you know, I like that there's variety to it. Everybody was afraid customs would mean one variation would ultimately exist per character, and I'm liking that we're seeing solid variations from the different characters that exist. You know what I mean? Like, there's different ways to approach playing a character, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Here.
And I mean, commenting onto that is like, are there new like strong customs that everybody's like kind of figured out? I know Dream was kind of like talking about that, but like, I can already see one character in particular that won out huge, big time. Kotal Khan, the man of massive damage. My God.
This is going to answer. I believe Shugith asked about Kotal and his custom, and like was asking how, basically, I guess, how good is he? I mean, the character not only has 1100 health, but this character went from being, you know, annoying to fight with a command grab and ascension, to being even more scarier with these custom loadouts overall with that 1100 health. I mean, it just speaks for itself. I mean, Jesus.
What's the go-to build for Kotal that people have been running with?
Trying to think.
I feel like I've seen command grab, damage totem, and then what is it? The amplified disc for the plus frames. Is that the build that people have been using?
That's what I've been seeing for sure.
I know Turkey and let's go Turkey and Aztec. They're two different players, so I know their loadouts are different. But I believe what you just said is what Turkey is using for sure.
And then I'm assuming you maybe swap the cat in for certain matchups where you're not going to be able to get in for the plus frames on the disc, I would guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the kitty pounce used here and there as well. Just gotta get around zoning.
That does honestly seem really strong, and his armor break is a built-in move. He doesn't have to equip it; he equips the move that replaces it. So that particular version of Kotal is also going to keep his armor break, which is that armor break does so much damage when you catch somebody with it. So I think Kotal is going to be really strong. Keeping that 1100 health is huge. I think another character that has had an interesting, well, I guess it's maybe just the move. I think Liu Kang's armor breaking move is going to start to make the rounds a lot more now. Now that it's kind of being freed from being in that weird mix-up heavy stance with the nunchuck stuff. I think Liu Kang's armor break is definitely a really, really solid ability. Junk, you've been playing a lot of RoboCop. It seems like the low auto 9 is in there. What seemed to be the build that you've been running with RoboCop?
The optimal build for running RoboCop is not playing RoboCop.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to win, you know, there's a lot of other characters.
I gave up, dude.
Just pick someone else.
I gave up. I was playing RoboCop so much, and I was fully expecting a pop up for his forward 2-1-2 crushing blow. Nothing. Got nothing. And they
Totally
banned out.
understood.
Yeah, I mean, they banned out the flyer and the terminal strip together. What do you want from a RoboCop player? You just literally want me to play Injustice 2 right now and just sit there and get hate mail because all I can do is spam my low auto, and it's okay. And when I do get in, it's my buttons are so bad, really. They're stubby, and I have a -9 down 3. Come on.
I mean, I'll sit there and throw things all day and get hate mail. That's just kind of what I do.
Yeah, right. It's collect that hate mail, man. Put it in the scrapbook. Those are memories. You want to hang on to those.
Quit being a scammer, Dink. Yeah, quit spamming.
Oh man! Hey, that being said, the Cetrion version. Somebody said, I know exactly who it was in the chat earlier. Said that Cetrion is a rushdown character, and I have equipped all the moves to make sure that she is absolutely not. And I think she's the best zoner in the game, which is the ground pound move.
Oh, yeah.
Which, when you actually get in on someone, or someone gets in on you, I should say, it is mix-up city. She has a true 50-50 off the 2-1-3 and the 2-1 ground pound. You know, the shattering boulder, which if you hit them at any point and it enhance it, it sends them full screen. You also have a crushing blow off of it, which is much easier to hit than you'd think if you're experienced. And then you have the boulder delay, which you just hold the boulder, and they're trying to flawless block. They miss their flawless block, and you hit them, bam, full screen again. You're zoning. It's just force of nature, but I just choose it as custom just so I can name it something.
All right.
But yeah, that's the Cetrion business.
I've also heard a lot of people talking about Tornado with the teleport and the ground pound to be really elusive. That Tornado's got great pushback on it. Have you messed around with that particular Cetrion build as well?
I've played around with it a little bit. Teleport's expensive now with 2 bars of defensive meter. So, I mean, if you're using it, you got to make sure that you don't get hit or you're eating whatever combo other people are throwing at you because you don't have any sort of breakaway, which is another thing to think about when you're talking about breakaways and meter and that kind of thing that everyone has to kind of think about when they're going to break away. Well, now I have no defensive meter, so even if they don't do an armor break, now I can't do any sort of attack. I can't delay my wake up at certain intervals anymore, so it's like using a breakaway is like really detrimental, I think, especially after the delay wake up change.
Yeah. All right, well, I think and then the last custom variation that I wanted to bring up, because this has been exciting for me to see, have any of you guys had the pleasure of fighting a Gears player using shifting sands? Have you guys seen any of that stuff?
Yeah,
that stuff looks wild.
I haven't yet, no.
Well, thank God for you,
Dink. You
I
said
haven't
you ran
seen
into
it.
somebody?
I haven't seen it.
How was fighting somebody with the shifting sands?
I haven't seen it. Whoever said that they
Hell,
have, I haven't.
very much
I was
hell.
about to say.
All right, HorseRadish definitely wants to comment on this.
It was a lot of hell. It doesn't. It goes through purple. So she has to just sit there.
Oh, that's great. Get wrecked, Jade. Sorry.
Poor HorseRadish. Come on, dude.
Yeah,
She's
we
just
saw
a Jade
somebody
player
play
trying to survive
in-
here on the streets.
I saw somebody play it in one of the exhibitions that we held, and Sub-Zero is sliding in place. It means that when he gets an ice ball at full screen, he's not able to close the gap in time to get the trade. It was just really, really interesting, and it's that kind of creativity, I think, that it's not immediately obvious, but I think we are going to start to see more and more of the interesting kind of wild stuff going on. I guess we can kind of hop into then specifically what you guys are playing. KingGambler, I know you're a Nightwolf player. What particular build have you been playing with Nightwolf?
So I think that his best launcher move is Rising Tomahawk. The reason why people will say, well, why is it not stealth? Wait, no, it's Spirit Tracks. My bad. I was about to say Stealth Tracks, but no, Spirit Tracks. The reason why I don't think it's that is because with Rising Tomahawk compared to Spirit Tracks, off of a jump kick, when you have Rising Tomahawk, you're able to get a shoulder. The Spirit Tracks input is the same thing as the shoulder.
Right.
Yeah.
So you lose that. You lose off of your jump 3 kicks. You can't get anything off of that. Also, you could also get a jump 3 and you could pick it up with a down 1 to Rising Tomahawk. So there's multiple options you can get off of using Rising Tomahawk. And I also threw on, because Rising Tomahawk's 2 slots, I threw on the command grab. I think that it has, yes, so it has, what's it called? The armor break to it, and it has more of a mind game to 1-1-1, 4-2, and I think there's something else. I'm just forgetting.
Well, he's got kick throws off his pokes as well, correct?
Yes, he does.
A lot of them.
Do you ever see yourself using that Ancestral Light. I was using that for a bit just for the brutality.
Oh my God,
but I'm just saying.
The move is awful.
No.
No.
No. And I will say this because I guarantee there might be someone in the chat wondering. The axe recall move where he throws his axe down on the floor. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about.
I saw Bio use that.
Maybe y'all do, maybe y'all don't. Here's my early woke read on that move. Is I don't think it's good at all.
It
I don't
takes
think
away some
I don't
of
think
your
it's
axe normals.
I don't think it's good.
What I think is bad about it. You lose
don't-
access to some normals.
Right.
I don't think it's good because of that. If you throw that on with like, if you don't have spirit tracks on there, there's, I don't know what's the purpose of playing that variation with that move because he basically has no launcher. The character is literally just hitting 16%. Maybe he might get a slight launch off of the extra call, but like, I'm just gonna say that
You
I don't
can't
think
do anything after.
yeah, I don't
Right.
think I don't
corner
think,
only, or maybe even the mid screen, but you can't really get much out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And
mean,
Arkham, I just want to say yes, down 3 grab, no matter what for Nightwolf.
Yeah, honestly, that move
three,
wasn't too good. I saw Bio use it in the Invitational Open series, and like he didn't do so well. It's supposed to act like Takeda's, when he threw the sword on the ground and he recalled it, but it's just not as fast, and the input is kind of funky.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, not great. HorseRadish, I know you had mentioned your Mileena build. What is the Jade build that you've been running lately? I know when we played, you were just playing, I think, Jade, just like one of the default tournament variations.
Because I have the most fun playing Jade because of the cancels and stuff. They're too hard for me to lose. But when it comes to customs, she has some really good customs. I think with her customs, she's like top 10, but that's my opinion. She has this one move that's not in any of her tournament variations called Demia's Dance. I think it's a very good move. I think it's broken, actually. It's a very good move. It's a gap closer. It has a lot of chip damage, and you can make it safe on Amplify.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
for like the builds, I think Air Razoring, Delia's Dance, and Pole Vault, or you can replace Pole Vault with the extended strings. Those are really very, very good. Those are very, very good loadouts with Jade. I think those are broken, but that's just me.
She's
All right, and
admitting
then Shujinkydink, you said you got 3 variations that you were playing. What are those 3 customs that you've been running? I think we heard that one of them's Force of Nature.
Yeah, one of them's Force of Nature, which I've just renamed Hule in honor of our fallen sorcerer.
All right, makes sense. And what are the other 2 you've been running?
The second one is Baraka. I've called it Poopy Bum Bum, and it's the gutted move with the blade charge, which is an armor break, which I think right now is probably the best variation of Baraka there is. Because
I've heard that as well.
There's a lot of mind games, and you can kind of hit confirm the blade charge and play mind games with your opponent and go for after the launch, go for forward 4, and then kind of see if they break away and then kind of hit confirm it into the blade charge. So you do it. It's not like a wait till he does it and then just kind of break away kind of thing. There is a little bit of guessing to it, and there's lots of in the corner at the end of the round where you're kind of screwed anyways, where blade charge is just going to hit you or you break away and you're toast anyways. The nice thing about the blade charge being an armor break is the amount of damage it does. Like, you could start a combo, and your combo's at like 260 damage. They break away, you hit them with the blade charge, you're at 458.
Dude, yeah, I saw you hit somebody for like almost 50%, and it like the game kind of glitched out because you did so much damage, and like the damage didn't recalibrate until a second later.
Yeah, the health bar didn't show the damage. I was like, what the frick? And then I had to hit them once. It's like, okay, there it goes.
It was really weird.
Yeah, I don't know how good Baraka is yet because he still does struggle a little bit in the neutral. But, up close, especially with those options, I think he's really, really scary now. I've also been playing around with another variation of him called Tom Blady, which gives him all of the banner moves, and I'm having a blast with those. Again, I don't know how good they are.
I think they're awful, but I think they could be fun.
I mean, the fun is definitely right, but I haven't played around with it enough to really know. I mean, having full armor on of his little banner charge to get in is
I think the charge is not bad. I think the other banner moves. The problem with the banners to me is like they're basically corner only. Which if you're going to be doing corner damage, you can do that with gutted. Like you already get crazy corner damage with gutted, and you can also do mid screen damage. And the problem with mid screen flags is that it's too hard to set the flag up and then actually keep them next to it. Like you're typically going to get away from it or whatever. One other thing too, which I'm curious if they're ever going to change, I would hope that they would make the flag from his Fatal Blow a real flag. You can't use any of the banner moves with the flag
you can?
from
I thought you
Fatal
could.
Blow. No, you cannot. And I don't think it even gives a damage buff. Maybe it gives a damage buff, but I don't think it does. And you can't summon a real flag while that flag's out. So you have to wait for the flag to go away before you can actually summon an interactable flag. But the flag moves do not interact with his Fatal Blow flag for whatever reason. And that's just like a weird, unnecessary like smack to Baraka. Like, oh yeah, you're a struggle character, and this cool thing, you don't get it. Fuck you. Like, oh come on, that'd be cool. But we'll see. So for me, I've been playing Rambo. I've only seen like one of the Rambo movies. I'm not a big Rambo fan, but the character is fun. Claymore is hilarious. So the build that I've been playing Claymore, obviously for the lulls. Even when I get killed by it, it's still a good laugh. And then I've also got the strings that end in throws. And then I've been using the Leopard Crawl. And one of the interesting things about the Leopard Crawl that I've been getting away with, probably because it's new, but off of a handful of his strings, I don't think it's clearly not a tick throw, but you can do like forward 2 into Leopard Crawl and then the command grab, and they have to jump out of it. It's so fast that it beats Fatal Blow armor on reversal. Yeah. So Fatal Blow armor is like 8 frames, and on reversal it's true 8 frames. So they don't like the delay on that or whatever. It becomes the extra frame. So it's like it beats most pokes even when you go into Leopard Crawl straight into the command grab. So that's been the fun that I've been having, is just slicing people's toes over and over again with Rambo, and it's been actually a lot of fun. I'm not sure how long it's going to work because, like I said, I think it's a bit of a gimmick, but that is the build that I've been running with Rambo, and then been playing a little Rain, but haven't really figured out which one I want to play. Junk, what build have you been running?
Honestly, to touch back on Rambo thing real quick before I get into mine, dude, it's so fast that leopard stance, like it just happens before I even know it, and I'm like, all right, I already got my ankle sliced, so awesome. Honestly,
that's what I love about it.
I've been playing Kano and Baraka lately, seeing that I have no RoboCop to play. I took a break on Rain. I had a lot of fun playing him, but his movement is insane. He's got insane movement, but he just has some kind of like whiffing issues that kind of bother me. Like he's just a little stubby, but when it comes to the characters that I play Kano, and when it comes to the Kano, I use Manhandle, his lumbar check, and his acid for like nice down 50/50s. Basically, you're either gonna get tick grabbed or you're gonna get acided, and there's really no other option. You got to make the read. Or I will be playing Baraka, seeing that I finally got his new skin, well, old skin from the KL season, but got it from those secret towers. I've been rocking the blood lunge with the leg kebab, so I can kind of do a little mix-up game and 50/50, tick grab game as well. Just playing the mind game. So as you can see, I like doing the kind of mind games with the grabs and then the mix-ups with the 50/50s on my opponents, but it's kind of hard to get in sometimes when they always switch to either Jade or Cetrion. So when that happens, I gotta go to my OG dirtbag Kano to kind of get in. So
yeah, the leg kebab is really fun because it makes a lot of moves safe. Like you just down 4 leg kebab, down 3 leg kebab.
And if it hits and it just adds that little bit of dot damage, you got the side switch and it's a restand. So I think it's a great move, and if you go, it has a crushing blow. So like, the only thing is I don't have an armor break on that variation. So, but if they if they break away, oh well, it's meaty city for me. You know?
Big time.
So.
All right. Well, do you guys have any final thoughts on the game and its current state before we move into some of the upcoming like Pro Tour stuff?
Anything you guys want to see? Anything that they should put in that they haven't yet?
Some anti-airs, some consistent air.
Thank you.
I think that is the next big request that we need to see in this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree.
I think because like MKX, you could anti-air. Injustice 2, down 2s, you could still anti-air. MK11,
You get stuffed.
Please hold.
Yeah. Like, honestly, we talked about this in the last State of the Game discussion, and I feel like only a few characters have really consistent anti-airs, and Frost being one of them.
Right.
Her what is it, her down 3 or is her down 4?
It's her down 3. Her down 3 is pretty decent at it. They're definitely character like the anti-airs are not evenly distributed in this game. I think we talked about some characters don't need to have a great anti-air. I think every character should have a move that can function as an anti-air, but there are some characters that clearly struggle. I think it's not awful to have your uppercut be an anti-air, and then some characters' uppercuts are obviously going to be better than others, but there are some uppercuts that are so bad as anti-airs that feels really tough. Cassie and Fujin are ones that come to mind. They just don't have any upward trajectory to them.
Cassie's got a good anti-air with her back 3 though.
Well, she has a good anti-air with her back 3. Yeah, she does have an alternative that's a decent anti-air at least, but The anti-air distribution is not currently well defined. There are a decent chunk of characters with blatant anti-air moves, right? You've got Noob's up kick, Terminator's got an anti-air grab, Shiva has one. There's what is it? Cabal has one. The Geyser Palm from Rain functions like that.
Yeah, but they're so slow. So you have to like really early.
They're like
it's
9 frames. They're not any slower than.
Yeah, but it's not. It's still like in order to get that input in that time, like in such a short time. That's why a lot of people rely on standing 1 or something like that in order to get their anti-airs in. It's not like where we have like a Shoryuken like Street Fighter has, where it's like they have iframes to protect them. We have nothing to protect us. Anytime I try and go for an uppercut on somebody that does an early jump in. Like Shang Tsung, I can't even anti-air that guy. I get stuffed every time.
Sub?
Sub? Yeah. Sub's jump punch is insane.
Did anyone see it wouldn't hurt to give some more invulnerability to, like, if there are moves that are supposed to be anti-airs, I like the idea of that, but there is sort of the problem with some of them getting stuffed by things. So, kind of like Guilty Gear has every character has a dedicated anti-air, and those moves are upper body invincible from jump and attack. So I guess that could maybe be I don't know what kind of implications that could have. Maybe it could get real dicey. But the idea of having, if you're going to have a move that we're asking you to technically, like, this is the move we want you to anti-air with, giving that move some priority over air moves so that it doesn't get stuffed out would really help it not be so discouraging to try to make that, because it ends up being a case where it's like, I'm not even going to try to anti-air. At a certain point, people just give up, and then they just let themselves get steamrolled.
Yeah, I know. HorseRadish doesn't have any issues with anti-airs. Playing Jade.
You don't. I don't.
I don't.
She has a 9 frame down 2, hits behind her.
Yeah!
And she has back 2. Back 2 is really good. And she has her standing 2. That's a really good one for combos.
Dude, that's wild.
She's
got 3. Anti-airs. That's crazy.
Yeah, Jade will be fine in the anti-air department.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess we also should talk about the upcoming online Pro Tour. I'm sure all of us are going to be looking to participate in it in one way or another. Mm-hmm. So they did, of course, the NRS recently announced that they are going to be having an online Pro Tour. Obviously, this is in lieu of an offline Pro Tour. COVID has really kind of put the end to any offline events. So they are doing a pro competition. It looks like it is going to be partnered through or very similar to some of the ESL stuff, from my understanding. And we can just go over some of the outline of what we know. So currently, it's a $60,000 prize pool, which is $20,000 divided amongst 3 regions. We've got the North American League. That's going to be the one most important to us over here. Intercontinental, which is going to be happening overseas. And then Liga Latina, which I believe is going to be the South American portion of that. So those are the 3 different leagues that are going to be happening. I believe the first event starts off at the 19th of this month. So they are kicking off pretty soon here. There's going to be, looks like they'll be using a leaderboard kind of format, so you'll earn points for your placements in the tournaments, and then whoever has the most points at the end of the, looks like 8 events, is going to be making it into the regional finals, where that prize money is going to be up for grabs. Just real quickly, it does look like they do have the settings down, so we can kind of go over what the format is that they're going to be using. So the format that they're going to be using is going to be PlayStation 4, obviously tournament mode and whatnot. They're going to be doing first to 3, though, so it's going to be, we saw that the last leg of the final, or the Pro Tour, was first to 2 throughout much of that season. It was first to 2 on the Pro Tour, but here online, I guess basically since the Pro Tour stopped, and Aquaman and everybody else started kind of heading the community through grassroots events because we didn't have offline events, we all kind of switched over to running first to 3 events, and it looks like the Pro Tour is now going to be following our lead. So we are going to be seeing first to 3 this time around, and obviously with the same rest of the stage interactables and whatnot. But a big thing here, Wi-Fi banned. So praise be, the Wi-Fi degenerates aren't going to be ruining our fun. Dude, I was just, how do they sleep at night? But I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is really cool. Sadly, PlayStation only. I'm a little bit more on the Xbox side of things, but still happy to see that the NRS is willing to do things. Do you guys have any thoughts or ideas or hopes for this upcoming Pro Tour? What are your guys' plans for it?
Are they planning to implement any PS5 kind of thing, or is it like, sorry, you bought the newest console, so you can't participate?
It says game version PS4, so it might be PS5 can run the PS4 version of it, and you're fine. But that's I'm not 100% sure on that. Gambler, you're trying to play on a PS5, right?
Yeah, I think the main question for those who are on the PS5 is, the difference is on the PS5 and the PS4 is the PS4 has an alerts section on their menu, and you could sign up, you could see who you're playing against, you can even join a match through that, and that's how they even report the score. There is no section on the PS5 that has any events like that, so my concern is can I still play in it regardless if I'm on the PS5? Do I just have to report my scores manually, or I just need an answer for that, because I am indeed trying to play in it, and I'm probably going to be on my PS5 playing in it.
Yeah, because it brings you to a separate combat league, almost room where you play your games in those tournaments.
Right.
Interesting. I'm not sure how they're going to handle that. HorseRadish, are you going to be participating in the Pro Tour? Do you have a PlayStation? I guess I don't know if you even have a PlayStation. I know you
have a PlayStation, but I don't have Mortal Kombat 11 on it.
Oh, all right. Well, damn, the crucial component missing.
You can play under my name.
Mortal Kombat?
I have a PlayStation account with Mortal Kombat 11, but I don't have a PlayStation.
Oh, rip.
Yeah. Can't get myself a PS5.
Well, you don't need a PS5, though. You can play on a PS4. Do you have a PS4?
I ain't gonna get no PS4 when there's a PS5 out there.
Why not? It's cheaper now.
God.
Yeah, you can get them on the cheap now. Easy money.
Because I want that Dark Souls.
Regional, and you're fine. You paid it off.
Exactly. I think that it's really cool they're doing this. Me, I'm not as much of a competitor myself as of late. I'm old and washed up, although I think you have to be good in the first place to be washed up. So I think I might just be old. But nonetheless, I am hoping that I can try to get involved from the commentary side of things. I have a lot of fun commentating events. I got to do my first offline at Frosty Faustings, which unfortunately was also my last offline because offline stopped after that. I really thought I had a shot at Combo Breaker, but hopefully I'll be able to find a way to land a commentary gig. I'm sure, Junk, you'd like to get on the mic for those events as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that would be a huge opportunity.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude. That would be insane. That would be a dream come true right there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But moving on, we have that Pro Tour coming up. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Unfortunately, not going to be able to compete or anything like that. Would love to commentate, but If you guys have anything more you guys want to add on about your experience with Mortal Kombat 11 or any gripes that you guys still have with it, Wi-Fi filter, please do yourself a favor and get your ideas out there now.
Just want to say I love the movie pack idea, and that was not something I ever thought was coming. And
it's such a good nostalgia trip.
Yeah, it was just hit me out of nowhere. I was like, whoa, I didn't know this was something I wanted.
And I need to have it now. Like, it was an immediate purchase. Not just to get Ronda Rousey out of my game, but
oh my God,
to get that number one reason. Yeah, that was top of the list. But to just fly back to 95 and just to hear it again, oh, man, it's so good. And like you said, not something I knew I needed, but definitely needed it as soon as it was available.
Yeah.
I'm really just curious on what NRS has planned for the community in this game. Like, because they're, you know, we say what we want to say about NRS, you know, not really speaking to the community that much or whatnot, but they do indeed surprise us when they do, like, drop something for the game, such as the, you know, skins, characters. So I'm just excited to see what they have planned for the future.
100%.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we do get more. So we do have some recent results that have happened in the scene. Wanted to quickly highlight those. And first up, let's talk about the biggest event in the scene. That's the Coliseum Ultimate that happened. And our very own King Gambler that's here with us tonight actually coming in 7th place alongside Too Easy. So very nicely done. That was a huge event, 184 players. And then we also had Turkey and OD Full Auto coming through in 5th, Mighty Unjust in 4th, Kevo in 3rd, Pure in 2nd, and Scar took the whole thing. Before we move on, though, Gambler, you know, you participated in that event. How was your run? How was the experience of getting back into the Coliseum?
It was, you know, for those of you who know, I took a break from Mortal Kombat. Before I took my break, I was absolutely just burned, drained. Like, I had no, like, I didn't want to, like, play the game anymore. The type of feeling to where I was, like, thinking, like, do I even want to do this anymore? So I had to take a break, and whenever I saw the Coliseum was coming back and whatnot, it was just kind of like a jokingly, okay, I'm going to sign up and play and just see what happens. Well, come to find out, because I have, like, no experience off of these 3 new DLC characters, especially, like, Mileena. I haven't played enough Mileena to know enough about her. But my run legit consisted of, I'm trying to think. My first opponent played Mileena, so I lost game 1. That's how my tournament started.
The losers bracket run the gauntlet.
Well, no. Okay, no. I lost game number 1. I didn't lose the set.
First game. Okay.
I lost the first game. I lost the first game, and I was like, all right. So I can see how this is about to go for me. And it's my first time playing, you know, after patch with the custom moves. So I was still new. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what these moves are, but I'm just gonna play and figure it out myself. So, you know, other than that, lost to Kevo in the winner's side. Beat Dark Elite, though, Xbox boy. One of the better Scarlets out there. Beat him, made top 8, and then ended up losing to Mighty Unjust in top 8 to get 7th. So.
Okay. HorseRadish, did you play in the Coliseum as well since you have a place? Oh, you said you don't have MK. Damn it. All right. Well, I think it's really cool. I'm glad to see Aquaman back on the circuit putting up an event. I think he's got some future plans as well. Aquaman obviously puts on a good show. My tournament is modeled in a lot of ways after what Aquaman does. So really, really exciting stuff to see the Coliseum coming back. That was not the only event, though, that has been happening. We also had the Freak Show happening as of late as well. That has been the 2v2 event that Black Lives Matter and Slayer have been running over on Slayer's channel. So that's a 2v2 event. There's teams. I was going to only read the top 4, but I mean... 5th place, we got Dark Elite and Striker and Blue Link and Izzy. Two teams filled with Xbox boys making big waves in the 2v2s over at the Freak Show.
Dude, love seeing those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We had ties for third place being Hijinks and Slink, also two Xbox players, and then Abyss and Plural Might, that's all MCG stuff on that team. They've got third place. We had DJT and Dat Shinobi coming with the Shinobi Bro team. That was second place. And then the NRS God themselves, Sonic Fox, teamed up with Hayate. They claimed first place. I mean, Sonic Fox in the bracket, that's already huge. And, of course, Sonic Fox brings home the victory with the help of Hayate. But really good stuff. Really fun event that Slayer's been putting on, of course, as well. Then we also had some ESL results as well. Junk, if you want to quickly go over those.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, on the European side, we had Derpy versus Schoolman, and I only got the top two because I didn't want to get too convoluted with the rest of it. And I mean, honestly, Derpy was looking super strong with his Kung Lao play, and Schoolman was rocking some Joker, and he was making good use of his amplified jump move, not amplified, but he's got that jump in,
jumps with the button,
and it shows how strong it could be in a lot of the matchups that Joker has. I mean, it was insane to just see, and Derpy's Kung Lao was just out of this world. And for the NA side, you had a lot of known players coming in. I mean, you saw Bio, and he actually ended up rocking that one Nightwolf move that King Gambler was speaking about. Did not do too well, unfortunately. And then we had one of the homies, Titanium Tigers, actually able to take the set over Mighty Unjust. It was very hard fought, though. Unjust actually ended up getting the reset on him 3-1, but was able to take it home. And Titanium was literally rocking almost half the cast. He literally played Gearus, and he was the one that was playing the Gearus that was using that little sand puddle
the
thing.
Shifting sands?
And using that, he was able to actually punish a lot of characters doing their normals. Like, for instance, he would throw the sand shifting sands move, and I forgot he was playing. I think it was actually Unjust. Unjust was rocking Spawn, and when he did his 3-4 in the shifting sands, it would actually pull him back when he did the 4 action, and Titanium would actually be able to get a sand trap punish on him. So it was really interesting to see, and he was rocking Kodal as well as Cassie and Cetrion. I mean, Titanium was all over the place, and after the reset was able to win it 3-0 over Mighty Unjust.
All right, cool. And then we also did have the Nightmare Series finale happen. That's the premier tournament on Xbox that I myself run with, of course, a big help from Junk. He was on the mic with me and has been kind of hanging out and helping out throughout the series. But we did have the top 4 placers. We had Pulse, who was the reigning champion. He got 4th place, so was not able to get the hat trick. No 3-peat for him. Sully came in 3rd place. We had Izzy bringing home the 2nd place trophy. But AJ74U came home as the champion. No bracket reset either. So he basically did not drop a set the entire event, and really, really showed that he has what it takes to be a champion. You know, it was his 2nd attempt at a Nightmare Series finale. However, his first attempt was plagued by getting DDoSed tragically, so we weren't really able to see AJ at his full potential. But here in the Customs era, his Scorpion was on fire as usual, and AJ definitely proved to be the strongest player that night. He brings home the lion's share of that $1,400 prize pool that we had in the Nightmare Series. So that was, I believe, $600 for first place, going to go over to AJ. That's money. A PlayStation 5 right there for him.
Oh yeah.
So big ups to AJ. He did an absolutely wonderful job, and really looking forward to seeing what he does in the future, because I think MK11 is hopefully in a lot of ways only getting started, and there's plenty more to come, and I think AJ is a player that can really provide more as well. But really happy to see him take the victory home. Absolutely well deserved.
As well as Izzy. Izzy was looking so fantastic, especially when it came down to his Jackie play. Like, granted, the kid is a maniac, but especially when he's playing Jackie, it's like, dude, how do you even play against that? And honestly,
you gotta ask AJ. AJ's the only one that knew.
How? I'm still blown away. How, dude? And when are we gonna start seeing Horseradish in some of these Nightmare series, huh? I want to see some of that Jade play. Gotta get some of that love.
And then, I do some, and then, like, I get busy because, I'm a working adult.
Yeah,
so I have this and that to do.
It's all good.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Well, we do have a few upcoming events as well. First off, I do want to note that we have the Mileena only tournament from CGL coming up. That's going to be happening on Sunday. So if you happen to like playing Mileena and you got a PlayStation, make sure you get signed up for that. That's going to be an all Mileena extravaganza. That's happening on Sunday. And then, Gambler, I believe that you and I have an event happening tomorrow. If you want to go ahead and let the people know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so me and Dream, we're going to be hosting a tournament for those of you who are on the PlayStation side. Once again, sorry to the Xbox boys. I'm sorry. But if you have a PlayStation, PS4, PS5, it doesn't even matter. Tournament is tomorrow. Starts at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central Time. So be sure to sign up. If I believe I can just grab a link right now and send it to the chat.
By
if
all
anyone
means.
wants to sign up.
By all means.
First to 2 in pools, but top 8 will be first to 3, and it is going to be streamed tomorrow on my channel. So with Dream on the mic with me. So be on the lookout for it because it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope to see y'all there.
Absolutely, looking forward to that. All right. Well, before we get out of here, HorseRadish, do you have anything that you would like to plug as well?
Even if you want to pull out your socials, tell everybody where they can find you.
Dude, give us that LinkedIn. Let us get the Vine channel.
All right.
I'll get your Twitter out there in the chat so everybody can find you as well.
Thank you. I'm a small YouTuber. I have a Twitch. I'm not on Twitch all the time though. Like, I'm on Twitch rarely because I don't like streaming. It's a lot. But yeah, you can most likely find me on Twitter and YouTube. Those are the things I do the most.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool.
And I threw your Twitter in there, and it has all your links in there. So if you guys would not mind showing my girl Horseradish some love, go ahead and follow her on Twitter. Subscribe to her YouTube and all that good stuff. Show some love. And same for you, King Gambler. Do you want to go ahead and tell people where they can find you? I'm going to try and get your Twitter right now, and I'll put that in the chat.
If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's just, well, I guess Twitter or Twitch because they're both the same. It's literally KingGambler18. Go follow me. If you enjoy seeing Nightwolf gameplay, if you just think I'm a cool person or whatever, if you just support me, go follow me on Twitter and make sure to check out tomorrow, 5 o'clock Eastern, for the Christmas Casino hosted by me and Dream.
That name, Christmas Casino, I like it.
I know. I wanted to make it for the holiday name and then throw in something that, like, I guess symbols my name. So
Yeah, I love it. I think it's a good name.
that's how I came up with the name.
I like it. I definitely like it. And unfortunately, Shujinkydink had to peel away because he's got a son. He's got things that he has to do. But if you guys would like to follow Shujinkydink, he also has a YouTube. I mean, he is a wonderful YouTuber. He honestly is a great teacher. He taught me how to get way better at fighting games in general. I mean, especially on the Mortal Kombat and Injustice side. So if you guys want to go show him some love as well, that would be fantastic. Dream, if you want to get your spiel in now, go right ahead.
Well, I mean, as you guys know, I am the purveyor of the Nightmare series. We just wrapped up season number 6. I am going to be taking I say the word hiatus, but I only say that because Junk is going to be taking the helm for me for a little bit here, and me and him have a 2v2 setup that is in the works. Don't have any official announcements or dates for you guys just yet, but me and Junk are in the lab cooking up a 2v2 event. So keep your guys' eyes peeled for that. That is going to be hosted on Junk's channel. I'll be helping him out on the mic, however. And then in the meantime, I'm going to be kind of focusing on just my normal, just streaming and hanging out. You know, I've said it a few times. I feel like in my streaming path, I kind of skipped that step where I just kind of hang out with everybody. I love running the tournaments, but when I run the tournaments, I don't get to interact with the chat as much. I don't get to kind of talk and hang out with you guys as much. So I am going to try to be streaming a little bit more of just me playing some Combat League, getting some viewer sets in or whatever, and just a little bit more down to earth and able to connect with you guys a little better in the meantime while we get cooking with the 2v2 stuff with Junk. But keep your guys' eyes out for the 2v2 stuff announcements, as well as, you know, I'll just be streaming at my Twitch channel, DreamxEaterx. To be, you know, just running some Combat League sets. If you want to see some Claymore shenanigans, I got you covered.
Gross! I hate that Claymore! So broke. Well, I do want to say thank you seriously so much to all the guest people that swung by to discuss. I cannot thank you guys enough for your time, as well as my co-host Dream Eater for coming in here and helping me moderate all of the discussions that we were talking about. Again, thank you to everybody as well for swinging by for the discussion. That was the state of the game, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and we will see you next time for the next state of the game going to be happening in the upcoming future.